Welcome back to the Waterlogged Woodsman. My name's Cole. I make a lot of spearfishing, hunting, fishing, and other outdoor videos. And today we're going to be doing spearfishing, if you can't tell from the wetsuit I have on, in Lake Hattie. Lake Hattie's up here in Wyoming, and I was given this recommendation by an internet friend of mine. Hopefully I'll get to dive with soon, Big Jake Lords. I'll throw his Instagram in the comment, or on the screen somewhere. And today we're hoping to spearfish for trout. Now we have the opportunity here to shoot a variety of species of trout, but I've never been here before, so I have no clue where they're going to be, and I have no clue what the water clarity is going to be like. So wish me luck, and I'll see you when I'm in the water. Just to give you some background about how my day went, you can see here that I paddled about 3.25 miles of the lake that's about 3.5 miles long. Now I started down at the southeast corner of the lake where the launch is, and paddled directly west towards the mountains. This was mostly in an effort to see as much of the lake as possible, as I'd never been here before and was hoping to kind of scout for good places with good water clarity as well as good fish structure.
Start your day upwind. You're always going to be freshest and have the most strength at the beginning of the day. So as you can see, I'm heading into the wind, which is a little bit more of a wet ride, but at least I'll be drifting with the current back to the truck and won't have to be doing work to get back at the end of the day.
So this 3.25 mile paddle took me about an hour and 15 minutes to complete, and honestly it wasn't that fruitful. Out towards the west end of the lake, as you can see kind of here as I'm getting close to the mountains, I did come across more weeds in the water, but I wasn't necessarily successful in finding any more fishier habitat, and the water honestly got chockier as I got towards the west end of the lake, which might be because there's kind of a cattle ranch on this part of the lake, which causes a bit of turbidity, or at least, and it was also a bit of a sandier shoreline, so I think that's probably why this water was chalkier. Now, when I looked at this lake originally, as you can kind of see, there's a bit of a clear section, which I was hoping was an inflow, but with all the cows, I figured I'd be swimming in E. coli infested water, which wasn't on the top of my to-do list, so I ended up turning around and kind of making my game plan towards the eastern end of the lake.
Well, I paddled pretty far, pretty much the length of the lake. I'll show you on a GPS map or something when I get back exactly how far I paddled, but for those of you thinking of doing this, it's not worth it. It gets more chalky, worse visibility as you approach the top of the lake. So probably just stick towards the lower end, honestly not worth making a trip. Getting blown into shore. Alright, I'll check back in with you when I finally have the water.
When I finally got in the water and got a good look at the visibility, I pretty much knew right away that I was going to be using my Mako spear gun, my 80 centimeter, because there's only about 4 or 5 feet of fizz at the best, and my other gun would have pretty much been out of view. So with the Mako loaded up, I started making dives around in these grass beds, hoping that I would kind of come by a trout, but after going through this entire section, I realized it's pretty dead besides the grass. Like, I didn't see a single other fish. There weren't even bait fish in the water, so I moved on. So the vast majority of the structure in this lake was pretty similar, where it was pretty much these really short grass beds, where it was only a couple inches of grass on the bottom and just muck underneath. And there wasn't really structure for fish. So I kept having to move around, hoping to find some sort of rock structure or shelf or something for the fish to kind of congregate on and hopefully give me a better chance of bumping into a fish that I could shoot.
Okay, so a lot of time you can tell a lot about what's in the water if you don't have a fish finder by what's out of the water. So it's got a rocky shoreline here. We moved on. Hopefully this rocky shoreline indicates harder bottom, clearer bottom, with a little bit more visibility.
And this ended up being a pretty good assumption because the water here was much clearer and the bottom was much firmer. It was kind of this more dense sand. Unfortunately, I didn't find any fish, but as you can tell, it was a bit clearer water. Now, one thing I want to say to those of you who have never dove in freshwater before is pay attention to boaters. They seem to not understand what a dive flag looks like or what a diver in the water is, so they tend to come really close and you might get run over. I had a couple boaters come up and check me out really close. I've had someone pull on my buoy while I was in the water before, so just be careful out there, guys. So I just want to finish this video by giving some possible reasons as to why I also was unsuccessful. So it was windy, which means that it knocks more sediment in the water and the lake's murkier, as well as it being summertime, so there's more boat traffic, meaning that there's also more wakes and more sediment in the water, making it murkier. And so if you're looking to find maybe a time of year where this lake would be clearer, I'd recommend just after ice off, or also maybe as the water gets cooler and there's less boaters in the water. But you know, the biggest thing about this lake is it's huge, right? It's 3.5 miles long. I could have just not gotten in the water anywhere that's productive. Maybe someone knows a secret spot and there's actually very good spearfishing here, but in my experience, it's a very hard lake to dive as a beginner, so you either need some insider info or you should probably go somewhere else. Now, if you like this video and you'd like me to do other lake reviews as I slowly dive more and more lakes around the West here, leave a like or a comment and let me know what you want me to do next. If you have a local lake that you want me to check out, let me know. But thanks again for watching this video, and remember, stay gone.